Some of the giants that we're facing right now are the giants of our own thinking, the giants of our own past conditioning, the giants of our own beliefs, our old belief patterns, our failures, our stumbling blocks, our challenges, our upbringing, the last business failure, our boss, the childhood teacher who told us you weren't going to be anything. Everything we're doing in our business, everything we're doing and touching has to do with AI now. There's going to be some issues with ethics. And unfortunately, we're going to have to figure that out down the road. If you wait until that's all figured out, you're going to be out of the game. Today, change your mind, have some faith, leverage the tools. AI is here, it's here to stay, and the time to act is now. My question for you right now is, with the opportunity presented, are you going to step up or are you going to step out? Hey, welcome back to the show. Let me ask you a question. If you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, CEO, or founder, are you tired of feeling like David facing Goliath in the business marketplace? Are you tired of seeing larger competitors online gain traction while you struggle? Are you ready finally to turn the tables and achieve extraordinary results? I got to tell you, today I am fired up. Today might be a different episode than I've ever delivered because today I'm inspired to share with you my version of the modern day David and Goliath story as we enter and go deeper into how AI is leveling the playing field for every business under the sun. As a savvy entrepreneur, you now have an edge to be able to compete against industry giants, to compete like never before. Let me get something out of the way right from the beginning. In the last 18 months, my company has leveraged AI to cut our cost of goods sold by 67%. So let me say that again. We have cut our cost of goods sold, the cost it takes to deliver our service, by 67%. But it gets even better. We just finished our 5-month period in 2024 over last year, and we saw our net profit increase by 253%. I didn't stutter. That is 253%. This isn't about incremental gains. This is about transformational change. There's a time in history right now for each of you, each of us, to grab the opportunity that sits before us. My friend, welcome back to the MindShift podcast. And you can tell I'm a little bit fired up. I talk with entrepreneurs every single day, and I always hear about the challenges of being a small competitor against bigger competitors. People have good products, they have good services, they have good hearts, they serve their clients well, they have a good product in the marketplace, but they struggle to compete against the bigger giants in the industry. Well, as I mentioned, I want to dive into a little bit of what I was inspired by when I was driving in the car the other day. And I was really trying to think of an analogy or a story that would help you get it. Now, some of you listening to this right now, you're already playing with some of the tools. But let me break this down for you today in a way, hopefully, that you will hear it from my heart the way I really want to deliver it. Let me be clear. I'm not a pastor. I'm an amateur on the Bible, but I did grow up in church. And there was something about the story of David and Goliath found in the first book of Samuel, chapter 17, if I have it right. Again, don't crucify me if you're a theologian. Don't crucify me if you know the book very, very well. But what I think about was 3 characteristics and points and ideas that came out of that story. For those that are new to the story by chance, that you haven't heard it, there's this shepherd boy who, let me back up. There's these 2 groups of people. One's called the Israelites and one's called the Philistines. Philistines, depending on your languaging. And they're battling, they're at war. And it gets to a point in the dispute where the Philistines have this giant in Goliath who defies anyone to come and fight him. Back it up, David. David is a shepherd boy. David's a kid who is not a soldier. He's a little guy. He's an unassuming person to be taking on this giant. And the first point that I want to bring to this story is I was thinking, who does he have to believe that he is to think that he's going to go take on Goliath? You see, his mindset changed from being a shepherd boy to saying, oh, no, no, I'm going to go take on this giant. The funny thing is that he seized an opportunity. He changed his mindset to seize an opportunity, one that he wasn't really prepared for. See, he was a shepherd boy, right? Tending to the sheep in the flock. And he had no experience in battle. But the interesting thing about it is when the opportunity presented itself, he jumped on it. When the opportunity presented itself, he said, I'm in. I'm in. Let me at this giant. Today in business, oftentimes, when we don't have the resources, when we don't have the advantages in whatever that walk looks like for you, a lot of times we step to the side, we make excuses, we don't get involved. But today, like never before, AI levels the playing field. This is not just a business trend. This is your slingshot that David had at the time that he defeated Goliath. This is your secret weapon if you use it appropriately, because AI is not a secret anymore, but it can be what you do. See, no one knows yet what I've done in the agency because I haven't talked about it. I'm not even going to talk about it in depth here. I'm going to give you a few insights. We're going to be talking more about it in the AI marketing challenge that we start coming up in just a few weeks. Then I'll reveal everything that we've been doing, the tools, the playbooks, the strategies, all of it. But my question for you right now is, with the opportunity presented, are you going to step up or are you going to step out? Are you going to take the opportunity that you have to go into battle, change your business, change your P&L, change your finances, change your profit line, change your business destiny going forward? David changed his mindset. When he saw an opportunity, he's like, oh, no, I'm not going to be a shepherd boy anymore. I'm going to take on this giant. Point number 2. We all know the story. David goes to get suited up for battle. And he's like, oh, no, I can't wear all this. What is all this stuff? I can only imagine. I wasn't there, obviously. You weren't there. But I can only imagine. He's like, man, I don't need all this. David takes a slingshot and 5 smooth stones, as the Bible says. And with his unwavering faith, obviously his faith in God, that he'd achieve the victory. He's like, just give me what I'm used to using. Give me the tools that I know about. In business, we already step out in faith. If you're an entrepreneur, you've already stepped out in faith. Sometimes it's a little hard. Sometimes it looks like the path is going to be easy. Then it looks tough. It's a challenging situation, just like the challenge that David faced. But you got to have faith, even when it seems like the odds are stacked against you. Right now, we have all of these tools. AI is confusing. It can be complex. It can be a lot of steps. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't want to take the time. But let me tell you, it took some time to learn how to ride a bike. It took some time to get through school. It took some time to find the love of your life. if you have that. It took some time to get your business to where it is today. Maybe you were working a full-time job and then you started your business. It took some time to make that transition. If your business has taken off and you've made it to 10, 20, 50, 100 million, 200 million, it took some time. Like anything else, you can figure this out. And guess what? Time's going to pass anyway. I'm not so worried about the giants in this industry. I'm almost worried about whether you have faith to conquer the giant that's in your mind. Some of the giants that we're facing right now are the giants of our own thinking, the giants of our own past conditioning, the giants of our own beliefs, our old belief patterns, our failures, our stumbling blocks, our challenges, our upbringing, the last business failure, our boss, the childhood teacher who told us you weren't going to be anything. Those are the giants that we need to have faith to conquer right now. You're not trying to necessarily take down the number one competitor in your industry. That's probably not a good idea. So my question is, if your mindset is, okay, let's take advantage of this AI like David did when I'm going to change my mind and not be a shepherd boy, I'm going to go out here and beat this giant. Number two, do you have the faith to move through this new season of transformation? I talk to entrepreneurs all the time, and it seems like they're a little bit in, a little bit out, a little bit in, a little bit out. And guess what? That's why you don't get the results. 18 months ago, I went all in. I was supposed to be on a trip. I was supposed to take some time off when I heard about ChatGPT. I got 3 or 4 text messages over half dozen days, whatever it may have been. And one of my rules of thumb in paying attention to trends and things of that nature is if 3 or 4 of my close friends, colleagues, people that I really trust get a hold of me and say, hey, have you heard about this? Did you take a look at this? It usually means it's worth taking a look at. So I don't get caught up chasing squirrels and rabbits and all this stuff. I stay focused. You've heard me talk about this stuff. I stay focused. I put the blinders on, as they say. But 18 months ago, I decided to take about 10, 12 days and really dive in to ChatGPT at the time. Since then, it's Claude, it's all the different tools, it's Gemini, and all the tools we're going to talk about at the AI Challenge and in our mastermind. And I was like, oh. Now I took my 30 years of entrepreneurship. I took my 13 years of running this agency. I took my 25-ish years of writing ad copy and doing marketing and direct response and email and ads and all of those things. And I put ChatGPT to the test. And I had one ultimate goal was, is this going to be something that comes and goes? Or is this going to transform the way we do everything? I remember exactly where I was, exactly where it was in January of 2023. And I told my team at the agency, and I said, look, by the way, my agency, we already have 8 hours on the books of training that's paid in the company. 8 hours. It's already built in. I said, make AI and ChatGPT as it relates to your skill set, as it relates to your craft, as it relates to your expertise, give it the time and the attention you need over the next 3 to 6 months, because this isn't a trend. This isn't a bright, shiny object. This isn't a flash in the pants. This isn't going to be here today and gone tomorrow. This is going to change everything we need to do. And one of my team members, and I know where her heart was when she said it, and she said something to the effect of, so are you saying I need to look for another job? And I said, no, because AI is not going to replace you, but someone using AI will. You've got to have faith, my friend, to go into this new world of transformation, not just with a good mindset, but with the faith that you will figure it out. You may not know exactly what you're doing. You may not know exactly how it all pieces together. You start listening to things like APIs and prompts and all of these things and the tools and blah, blah, blah. You're going to be able to figure it out. Last but not least, as I think about this story, by the way, you can tell I'm not a pastor. I'm not trying to give you all of the the biblical reasons for the story, but there were three big things that I thought about: the mindset that David took, the faith that he had to step out without a shield, without armor. He was like, give me a slingshot and 5 smooth stones. Which brings you to my last point, and that is David went out there and beat Goliath not with brute strength or force or with his knuckles or with a sword. He obviously ended up cutting his head off with a sword later, but he used the leverage of the tools that he knew how to use. He used the leverage of his day, which was a slingshot and some stones, a rock, to gain leverage on this giant. And today, my friend, that's what AI represents for you. AI is the tools. AI is the slingshot and the rocks. That's the slingshot and the rocks. They give you the leverage you need to transform your company, your operations, your systems, your marketing, your sales, your customer service, and a whole host of other things. You can't do it all overnight. But if you put the right mindset on, you have some faith, and you use the tools consistently, with diligence, with intention, you will be able to take your company to a whole nother level. Whether you're knocking down big giants in your industry, that's really not the main goal. It was just the story of my mind as I was thinking about how to explain this to you. I'm really fired up about some of the tools that we're working with. I'm going to share with you a couple of big ideas right now, and I hope you will consider joining us during the AI Marketing Challenge and maybe even eventually in our AI Marketing Mastermind. And I have something even further coming up in the space of AI. I am that passionate about it. Everything we're doing in our business, everything we're doing and touching has to do with AI now. We can all compete. 33 million small businesses in America, not to mention the rest of the world. 81% of those small businesses, one person organizations, one person companies. If you've never been able to compete up until now, those excuses are gone. If you're a solopreneur, more power to you. You can compete. If you're in sales and if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about your sales meetings and how do you handle all your meetings, look, one of my favorite tools right now is a tool that's a note-taking app, and I literally don't have my executive assistant in any meeting ever again. I used to have her be in our meetings so she could take the notes and get them back into our CRM and get the things into the project system and notify the people, et cetera, et cetera. There's now an AI app that does it all for me. I turn the app on when I enter the meeting in Zoom. It works in Google Meet. I think it works in Teams as well. It does all the listening. It does all the recording. Within moments of the time the meeting is over, it has documented all of the action items. It has prepared an email for every attendee. And all I have to do is push one button and it syncs it all to our HubSpot CRM. I used to write notes. I type extremely fast, but now I've been able to give her back all of those extra hours in the day and in the week that she used to have to sit there with me. And now she just gets the notes and then she can disperse. She doesn't have to spend the hours there anymore. I don't have to type. I can now focus on my client who I'm speaking to. If you're creating video content or doing marketing, there's an app that you must be using if you're shooting short form video to market your company. And you should be doing that because you can upload that to YouTube Short. You can upload that to Facebook and Instagram Reels and TikTok and LinkedIn and all the places. And if you don't have a video editor and you don't have video editing skills and you don't want to hire people from Fiverr and Upwork, the solution is this video AI editor. And I'm going to tell everybody about it during the AI Marketing Challenge. And let me tell you something. It does things like you can literally record right into the app, push one button and have the captions generated, and they have all of the styles. You push another button and you can just cut individual clips so that you can then create really neat transitions. And all you have to do is push a button to make it look great. If you go over to my Instagram profile at Mr. Darrell Evans on Instagram, you will see this app's results of its work in process on about 50% of the videos over the last several weeks, depending on when you listen to this episode. It's got so many features, the captions, the cuts, you can, if you're not looking at the camera, you can click a button and it'll actually reposition your eyes on the edit so that you're always looking at the camera. So if you happen to be the person who needs to read a script, let's say I'm reading a script over here, it'll make your eyes come back to the camera. I don't know how it does. I don't know how it does it. It's amazing. I don't know how it does it. I don't do that because I like to let my eyes wander where they go. I don't use that feature. Let me tell you, friends, there's so many things. You know, we're a HubSpot agency partner, HubSpot solutions partner. HubSpot has built in some amazing AI into its platform. There's no shortage of AI tools. And yes, it can get complicated and overwhelming. But what I want you to understand is the third point of this is leverage. You've got to get leverage. And if you've never had it before, there's no excuse today. Most of the companies that work with us at our agency are small marketing teams, founders, CEOs, business owners who have small marketing teams, 1 or 2 people maximum. Generally, maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe maximum. If it gets past 4, they're usually not hiring our agency because we usually bring our entire department to work for that company. Solopreneurs call us all the time, and a lot of times our budget is just a little strong for that sole practitioner, that sole business owner. Today, change your mind, have some faith, leverage the tools. AI is here, it's here to stay, and the time to act is now. I'm beating this point home because it means that much to me that you win in this modern business era. There's so much more I want to share with you during the AI Marketing Challenge. We're going to talk about how we're leveraging AI inside of the Facebook ad platform, the Google ad platform, inside of email. We're leveraging it everywhere. It's in project management systems, but every day your competitors are taking this action. Look, if you look at the news, if you've listened to the news at all recently, and you hear big corporations doing layoffs, 1,000 people here, 2,000 people there, 7,000 people there, it's not because the economy's bad. Yes, inflation is a little high. Maybe their P&Ls are getting a little tight, but let me tell you what they're really doing. They're integrating AI. They're integrating AI. If the biggest companies in the world are integrating it fast to improve their bottom lines, why aren't you? You can't sit on the sidelines. Remember that 253% change in profit 5 months over the prior year? We're just getting started. That 67% cost of goods reduction, we will never have to pay. It'll never cost as much as it ever did in the past for us to run our business. When you get started, there's going to be some challenges. When you get started, there's going to be some learning curves. You're going to need to maintain some focus on how these tools are implemented and integrated, and you're going to have to develop a playbook. Without a playbook, a new set of SOPs, a new set of processes and systems, things will get out of hand. And before anybody says it, I know, yeah, there's going to be some issues with privacy. Yes, there's going to be some issues with ethics. And unfortunately, we're going to have to figure that out down the road. If you wait until that's all figured out, you're going to be out of the game. I guarantee it. But let me tell you, the things that you have to go through now in the early stages, the bumps, the bruises, the things that don't come out right, I tell all of my clients, we are an AI forward agency. Are you okay with some of those errors, some of those mistakes? We are obviously doing what we call human AI, human methodology. You'll hear more about that if you hang out more with us at the AI Marketing Challenge. But listen, we are very forward with AI. It's going to help our clients save money. It's going to help our agency save money so we can serve them better. We just do not have to spend the time and energy on bandwidth like we used to in the past. So here's the bottom line. I want to wrap this up. AI is rewriting the rules of business as we speak, day by day, minute by minute. It's allowing every entrepreneur to compete for the business that they want, for the life that they want, for the results that you want. But you have to be ready to lead. You have to be ready to innovate from your current position right where you are. It doesn't matter how you got here. It doesn't matter where you're at. You've got to get clear about where you want to go. It's going to take some leadership on your part. It's going to take some innovation on your part. It's going to take some risk taking on your part. It's going to take some investment on your part, both time and money. There's no getting around that. Right? The question is whether you can afford to not adopt these tools is the question of the day. Can you not afford to jump all in to the opportunity of AI in your business, in your marketing, in your sales, in your customer service, in your operations, in your systems today? Can you not afford it? I think every business can afford it, and I think it's a must that you do it today. I love the story of David and Goliath. I love the idea of us, small business owners, being able to take our shot. And AI has democratized everything as relates to small business. You always hear me say, shift your mind and you'll shift your results. And that you're always one shift away from the breakthrough you're looking for. I don't know if today was that day. I don't know if today was that the words that I said, if they are going to make you shift or not. But if they did, I'd love to hear from you on Instagram, on any social media at Mr. Darrell Evans. If you can think of anyone who needs to hear what you heard today, please get them this episode. Please get them to the MindShift podcast with Darrell Evans, wherever they are listening, wherever you're listening right now. Send this episode to them. Somebody needs to hear this. There are 33 million small businesses. 90% of small businesses don't make it through the first 5 years. Of the 10% that make it through the first 5 years, only, I forget the statistic, but I think it's a small number, 50% or so, make it to the 10th year. It's hard to grow a business, y'all. Let's take advantage of these tools. Let's work together. Come over into the MindShift community if you haven't already done so. MindShiftCommunity.com. MindShiftCommunity.com. That's where you're going to get all the information on the AI Marketing Challenge coming up soon. It's where you're going to get all the information on the AI Marketing Mastermind, the mastermind we're going to run, because we're going to partner with you to get you through this, to get you not just up and running, but to get you powered to go forward. All you have to do is be connected. There's going to be a plan affordable for everyone, not just my big clients. My big clients get my attention one-on-one. Most of you can't afford that. I understand that. But there's going to be a way for everyone to participate in this and get the help you need. So many of you reach out to me. You want one-on-one time. You want to ask me quick questions, and I'm grateful and I appreciate that. But I can't take all these quick questions and solve your businesses in DMs. I can't solve your problems inside of an email. Come into the community. Join. When we make the invitation to participate. Yeah, it's going to cost money. You know why? Because if you don't pay attention. I've been doing this for a long time. And as much giving as I do, and I will continue, we have 297, I think, episodes. I think this is 297. I've got videos on YouTube for years. I've got 7 hours of free training. I've got more free training on the internet for you to get it all for free. When we do these closed group projects, I want you to bring your mindset, your faith. We're going to help you get the leverage. My name is Darrell Evans. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the MindShift podcast. I can't go on and on and on. This is your opportunity, if you're David, to be Goliath. I'll see you next time. Take care. Hit the subscribe button so you can become a part of the MindShift community. We'll help you shift your mind so you can shift your results.